Hello, welcome to the NoSongRequest.com full demonstration. In this demonstration, I'm going to take you through the full product, all the way from the starter accounts to the pro, as well as some of the best practices that will help you grow your business. All right, so first thing, if you haven't signed up yet, you'd want to get started. All right, now when you click on Get Started, we have three options. You have your starter option, completely free. You can use it as long as you want. You get up to 100 song requests per month. You get a QR code. That is your QR code. It's always your QR code. Doesn't matter if you switch to pro, jump back down to starter. It's always yours. You can actually use it for, if you have a pro account, you can actually redirect it to a completely different website. Let's say, for instance, you're a seasonal performer. Let's say in the wintertime, you don't perform and you are selling your car and you want to, redirect your QR code to your eBay listing. You can certainly do that because this is your one QR code and it's the last QR code you'll ever need. All right. In addition to that, the starter account gives you the ability to download and use our mobile and desktop apps. You can receive notifications via the apps. So we have mobile apps, Android, iOS. We have the desktop apps. We have the Windows as well as the Mac OS apps as well. And you can, if you have questions, you can always reach out to us via our chatbot. And then our pro account gives you everything in starter. It also includes the ability to get unlimited song requests. You can now get tips. So when you're setting up your song request, you can decide if you want tips optional, if you want it required, if you want to get shout outs, you can make shout outs optional. You can make them, you can make them free or you can charge for them. It gives you the ability to get booked as well as to grow your fan base. All right. So quite a bit there. You can also have things like wedding mode, karaoke mode, line dance mode, etc., and a lot of other features as well. And as we go through the product demonstration, you'll see what some of those other features are. Now, Elite is basically a pro account, but you get 25 accounts, right? So just imagine if you have a DJ company, or if you want to have a separate page for every event. Let's say you do multiple events and you want to, let's say you're doing a wedding and you want to send out that link to the bride and groom so that they can share their song requests that they want. Even they can share it to their friends, and it can kind of be this thing where everyone's getting excited leading up to it. And they have, you have a picture of the bride and groom, a message that's catered to them. Maybe you may have tipping turned off during this phase. You have this going on, but at the same time, you have, let's say you're doing a club gig. You can have your main song request page still pointed out your club gig. So this gives you the ability to use as many pages you want. Or let's say you have a DJ company and you want to give a page to each one of your DJs in the company. What you could do is you can give them those pages and then you can manage where the booking goes. So for instance, they can get the song requests or you may even let them get the tips, but all the booking inquiries or the contact you all goes to the main page, right? So this gives you the ability to have the pro account, but you have 25 pro accounts. So pretty awesome there. So you want to get started, you're going to click Get Started Now. You can sign up with Google, you can sign up with email. And let's just say we've signed up for the starter account. So I'm just logged in here on the web. So if this is the first time here, it's going to ask you a few questions just to set things up based on the type of performer you are. So I'm just going to choose mobile. It's going to give me to upload a photo. I've already uploaded a photo there. It's going to ask for your main social media link, but you can add many social media. We support them all: Instagram, Facebook, X, etc. And then you can continue on. And then this is just a link to download our app so you can get the real-time notifications as well as things like crate mode, which I'll discuss in detail as well later on. All right, then you can send yourself a test song request just so you can see how the system works. And then here's your QR code. Again, your permanent QR code. You can use this, indefinitely. It's the last QR code you ever need. All right, and then let's just go ahead. And so this is my test account. So the first thing here, you'll see like the ability to just click and change this image. You can pick an image from I'm just going to use this as like let's say it's New Year's Eve, theme or something like that. And just because I also have some images there. So I'm going to just change the background to this. We also have a list of backgrounds that you can use. So if I wanted to change that, I can select the background. Let's say, it was Halloween, right? I'll just preview this and you could actually insert that as well. I'm not going to do that right now. That gives you the ability to pick some items as well. And of course, you can change your profile picture. So let's say, for instance, I want to change my picture to, let's say this is my picture here. And I just happen to have it with some of my friends that I work with. And I'm going to just kind of crop them out, right? And then this is my profile picture now. All right. Okay, so now I have my profile picture set up. Now I'm logged in. Now you see here that it has 97 song requests less. Now I've already used this account. Starter accounts get 100 song requests per month. So in this case, I have 97 left because I have already used it. You can see what this would look like as an audience member. And you can also schedule a setup time. If you have questions on how to use it, we're happy to just hop on a call and answer questions if they're best practices. And if we notice things, we'll also point them out. And we can just tell you what our successful performers have been doing while they've been using the platform, right? So let's just go ahead and you can see here, you make a request. And again, I'm logged in right now. I won't really go through much of the starter things because the big change is when I switch to Pro, then you'll see a lot of the other additional features. But you can see here, I can go to settings. I can change my song requests. You can see here, I can accept song requests. I can decide to show song requests. Now, accepting song requests, that makes sense. You understand what that means. It's just the ability for someone to actually go and actually request a song. Now, you can also show the requests after they've requested a song. And that way, other folks can see what those requests are. And some people actually go and like those songs. So let's say, for instance, this happens quite a bit at a prom. Like proms are notorious for kids wanting just, you can get 100 song requests. Now, of course, you're not going to play 100 song requests. That will kill, you really want to focus on DJing a great set, or if you're a live band, just performing the way you would normally. And then these requests are additional things. Now, what we tell people to tend to do is focus on the likes, right? So if you got 100 song requests, you're only going to play 10 of them. You maybe want to focus on the ones with the most likes, or you can even use, for instance, like our crate mode to see what you already have on your device. That would help you also determine what to play, right? You can require a name when making a song request. This is like, for instance, if you do karaoke, most people turn this option on. Hide played songs, what that does is it basically hides the song after it's been played. So in our apps, you have ability to mark songs played. So here in the web app, if you see this song here, I can just mark it played, right? So that's how you do it in the web app. In the desktop app, because I just installed this desktop app, notice it's asking me to do crate mode. Now I'm gonna go ahead and just run through this really quickly. So if you hear get started, I'm gonna choose the folders where my music are located. All right. And then what I'm gonna do is click scan now. And then it will start scanning that folder. Now, I happen to have thousands of song requests in this folder, so it may take some time to scan, but it will scan the entire folder. And now when a song request comes in, it will say, hey, you've got this song in your crate, which is very helpful. So I'll come back to this. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'll just go to the actual view as audience and I'll make a song request, all right? And we'll just go ahead and I'll just pick one from our, the top requests on the platform so far in the last month or so. And I'll just choose this song request to make it easy. And I'm gonna go ahead and send the request and I'll ask you if you want to continue as guest or you want to sign in. Now, what signing in does is it basically gives you the ability to, well, first off, it helps the performer know that you're not a bot. And so they may give a little bit of preference to people who are signed in because they know it's not, but you can completely use it as a guest. It also, you will get a notification that says, hey, these are the song requests that you've made, and it will give you some additional information from the performer if you sign in. So that's useful if they have upcoming events, etc. So you could also choose to sign in. I'm just gonna continue as guest right now. And you can see the song request is there. Again, you can like someone else's song request. And you notice I got a notification right here because I have the desktop app launched. So I'm just gonna flip back over to the desktop app now. It's still scanning in the background and you can see the song request just came in, right? Now I can mark this thing played. If I'm logged into Pro, I can decline requests. I can move it into the queue. I can mark it coming up soon. You can even block the user. these are some of the pro options as well. But the really cool thing is you can hit this copy song and it will drop directly into Serato. Now, if you have virtual DJ, we have a direct integration where that will actually just show up. The song request will just show up in the virtual ask the user section in virtual DJ. But you can always just click copy song and then just paste it, and it will copy the song as well as the artist, and you can quickly find it in your DJ software. All right, so let's continue on. We'll come back to some of those features here in just a minute. Already logged in, and here again, you saw we can change these things. We can make requests. You can see a list of the requests here. A lot of this information on this page can be customized, like you can change the messaging at the top, and we'll go through that here in just a minute here. Let's just go through some of that now. So if I go to settings, song requests, we've already covered some of these. You can also require email when making a song request. You can also require a phone number, and you can limit the number of song requests per audience member. Now, that is a pro feature. We'll come back to that in a minute. And matter of fact, I think I'm going to go ahead and switch directly over to the pro account and run through some of these things, because you're going to see quite a bit more as I log into a pro account. So let me just go ahead, and then I'm going to log out, and then I'm going to log in as a pro account. And now I'm logged into this pro account. Now, with this pro account, it gives you, notice here it has tip, book, contact, as well as additional information here on the song request. You can see I have skip the line, pay to play sooner, and I've set that to $5. You can also see my tipping options. And this is a customizable message, by the way. And there's also another customizable message here that you can change. Right now, it just says, let's get this party started. Notice I have all of my YouTube, my Instagram, and other options as well that I can put here. Notice I also now have the ability to share pictures and shout outs. You can see here, this was a shout out, Happy New Year. You can see here, the audience can go ahead and add additional pictures, and those will scroll through. And if you have a big screen TV as a performer and you want to share the pictures, you can just click on it and you can share this URL, which is your big screen URL. And then that will just rotate on that big screen in full screen. And then you'll also have this ability for them to scan and make additional song requests. Now, you can make that a moderated item, and I'll just go and show you. That means that when a shout out comes in, it doesn't necessarily just automatically get approved, right? Because whatever, depending on your audience, they might want to put some colorful images there. Especially if you're at an event, people have been drinking. You may want to make that a moderated thing. So let's just go to shout outs. Notice here I'm clicking in the search bar. And so now if I go down to shout outs, notice it says approve before displays. You'd want to turn that on if you think your audience might put some pictures that you don't want. If you have that on, when you get the notification in, again, the desktop app, the mobile apps, etc., what you'll get is the ability it'll say approve. It'll give you an approve option, right? And that approve option will, once you click it, then it will display to everyone. Otherwise, it will only display to you, and no one will ever see it. All right. So that's that. Let's go back. Notice here in the song request, you can see things like the energy level, the key, the BPM, etc. if that information is available. And notice here, I'm in the desktop app. If I click on it, it does copy the song name and artist. All right, so let's jump back over to Serato. And notice if I went over here and I hit paste, it just automatically has that song there. And the same thing, if I'm in the desktop app, if I click copy song, I'm just gonna click copy song here, and I'm gonna jump back over to Serato. So you're playing, you just simply hit paste, and now if you have the songs there, and then you're good to go to start playing it. And this works the same on the Mac and as well as Windows. I'm just happen to be using Windows for this demonstration, but it works the same on either platform. Now I'm going to go to the audience page for this. This is again a pro account now. So I'm going to go to the page. I'm going to copy this link, and now that I'm on this pro account, I'm going to go in and act as if I'm an audience member, and I'm going to go ahead and make another song request, right? And then I'm also going to do a shout out. So here I'm just going to start typing. Now notice this typing is, it will kind of figure out what the song is. We've integrated with APIs to pull this information. So for instance, you may think the song is they not right, they not like us, but the song is actually not like us. And notice it finds that, right? So it finds the correct song. You enter your name because I had name required. So let's just call this Tim. And then if you want a tip, you can put a tipping option. Now, this tipping information is customizable. You can put a message like, please add a tip to boost my request. Tipping isn't required. It's optional unless you want to make it required. Again, and those are options that we'll go over as well. And then you can see here, you can add additional options like comments that you can turn on and off as well. So let's go ahead and notice here, there's also additional message here. It says, I'll play it if it fits the vibe. This is your disclaimer. And again, you can customize this information. Now notice here right below this, it has my products. So we have a direct integration with Fourth Wall. When you set up a merch store there, your merch will display here and people can click on it and buy this merch directly on your song request page. So you may have 50 people come into your song request page on a busy night, and all of 50 of those people, they see your products, and some of them might purchase it. So that's a great way to showcase your products as well. If you have Eventbrite and you have an Eventbrite event coming up, it will also cycle through here. So the audience can see if you have upcoming events that are public that they may want to attend as well. All right, so let's go ahead and send this song request over, and then we'll do a shout out right afterwards. All right, so now we've sent the song request, and notice here it's there. And again, I can like other people's requests as well. Let's go ahead and share a picture. We'll say this is from John, and we'll say Happy New Year. Okay, and let's grab a photo. And let's just use this. And again, you can customize it, move things around. And now I'm going to go ahead and send that shout out request. All right. So now we've sent that request. And then you'll see this information. I'm going to go now back into the desktop app. Notice here there's the allow, which will basically allow that shout out to display. So let's go ahead and click allow on that. And then you can also view it, or you can just complete it, which will just get rid of it. And the same things here. Now you have the ability to, I'm going to put this one as coming up soon. So I'll put this in the coming up soon pile so you can see that. So, they don't keep having to come up to you and say, hey, when's my song going to play? You can just mark it coming up soon. And that one will show there. All right. So notice here, I could just go to the coming up soon tab, or I can go all. And you have lots of options here. You can see song requests from today, the last 6 hours. You can sort things by newest, oldest. You can do karaoke sorting, which is great, which basically when you do karaoke sorting, now I only have one song request here, but normally you could just drag the songs the way you want it. So that would allow you to do that. So matter of fact, let's just go ahead. Now that I'm in this pro account, let's go ahead and make another song request, right? And let's just choose this song, like a banger that's always been there. And let's just choose. I'm not going to actually make a tip here, but I'm just going to choose that so you can see the process, the default process. Some of this information is customizable. Notice it says here, this is pay online. And again, I'm on a desktop computer. If you were on your mobile device, it would show your Apple Pay or Google Pay, and that's because I have the integrated tipping or verified tipping. It gives you the ability to do that, right? So now notice here, again, because I'm in the desktop app, I have that notification, and I am now able to quickly jump over there and see the new song request. Now, again, if I go back, now I'm going to go back to karaoke sorting, and I say, you know what? This is the song I'm going to play next. Notice it moved that song up. So if I'm in karaoke sorting, when you're in karaoke sorting, the users on their side, they automatically see the way you have things sorted. They can't change the sorting on the audience side. They will see it just the way you see it. All right. So I'm going to go back again now. So now you have a couple of song requests. You have some shout outs as well. And so now if we go back up here, notice you can see here we've got 2 shout outs. If I click on it, again, here's this full screen view. This background image is completely customizable. I just happen to have this here, but let's go ahead and change what we want our shout out background to look like. So if I go back here, go to settings, and then I will go, now I'm going to start, I'm just going to go to Shoutout again. So again, I can just start typing there. So I'm going to go our Shoutouts and photo wall, and I'm going to pick a Shoutout background. So let's say, for instance, it is Cinco de Mayo. We're going to go ahead and let's preview this one first, see if it makes sense. Great. So let's choose that one, and we'll select it as the background. Let's go ahead and update things. Let's go ahead and take and see what that looks like. And now if I click into this, notice the background now is changed to the drink background, and I have the main image here. And again, this will cycle through every 30 seconds. It's a great way to just have everyone kind of included in the event, and have their information up on the big screen, right? All right, so that's that. Let's continue on in the settings. Okay, so we've covered the basic settings. The song request instructions, you can type something here, sort of like, let's say this is karaoke. We say first come, first serve. Say use the skip the line feature to get your song bumped up. All right, and then we'll keep the same disclaimer, and then let's go into the more options. This is the ability to show the comments. I can hide the comments field. I can hide the event date. Kiosk mode, what this is a feature that is used for mainly events where phones are not allowed, or phones, the audience has very limited internet connection. And so what you do is you put a tablet up, and of course that means you would need internet connection. But let's say you have a tablet available, and everyone is going to be making song requests from that device. So sometimes you have maybe the younger kids, they're not allowed to have their phones, or you have an event where there's no phones allowed, which I've seen that, recently pop up as a thing, to just kind of get that phone distraction out of the way. So then everyone just goes to the tablet, and then they type in their song request. So if you turn this on, it will limit some of the things, like, for instance, it won't restrict limit the number of song requests a person can make, because it's the entire audience that's making the song request from that tablet. So if you were limiting it to only person can only make 3 song requests, then of course that would automatically disable that. Some of the other features, like logging in with your Google account, those things will not be there because that's a kiosk mode, and we wouldn't want people to log in. Show explicit flag, that just is on by default. Just shows if we grab that information from the APIs that we gather, we can show that flag. This is an option to hide the new incoming, coming up soon, etc. That's those sections that we discussed here. If you see here, there's coming up soon and the queue decline. Maybe you don't want the audience to see that. You may still want to be able to categorize it, but if you don't want the audience to see it, you can just turn this on. It will not show it to the audience members. You can show the BPM, musical key. So if you turn on musical key, what it will do is, so by default, what we use is the Camelot key, because a lot of our performers are DJs. But for the musicians on our platform, and we do have quite a few musicians and live bands as well, you'd want to turn on the musical key, because you'd be more used to D minor versus 8A, which is the Camelot version of that. And then also show song suggestions. We strongly recommend that you keep that on. What that does is that when a person starts typing in their song requests, it will show them suggestions. And again, for instance, in the example that I showed you before, someone might type "They Not Like Us," but we know that the actual song name is "Not Like Us." So the software automatically puts the right song in the right place. Show duplicate song requests. Now, this is off by default. If a person makes a song request and another person makes the same song request, what we do is we just bump that song up, meaning we add likes to it. We don't show it again. Now, in the situation, let's say, for instance, karaoke, where 2 people might actually want to perform the same song, you'd want to turn on show duplicate song requests. But if you're DJing or something like that, you may not want that. Or you may even decide you don't want it on karaoke as well. So that may be an option there. And then you can hide requests that are older than today on the audience side. That just basically they can only see what's been requested today. All right, so now we'll continue on with the shout outs. So this is where you decide, if you want to let your audience submit shout out requests or upload photos. You can add a disclaimer here, just some sort of message saying, please keep it PG, something like that. Whatever you want to put there. You can turn on the shout outs, allow them to be public. You can require a phone number and approve before display. Now, approve before display is useful. You get someone submits the information, you get a pending approval, you get that in your notifications, and you can decide if you want to approve it or not, or you can just mark it completed or just get rid of it. Here you have your link to actually go in to see your full screen shout outs, right? So, and then you also decide how long you want to keep the shout out for. If, for instance, you're a bar or someone that, where you want to have like your drink specials and uploaded photo, you want to have that rotating indefinitely, you can set it to never. But maybe after an event, you might want to keep it up for a few hours or maybe 24 hours. So folks that can go back and take a look at the pictures from last night's event, or if you just want to just keep it for a very short time, you can as well. And again, you can choose a background that will display behind the uploaded photos and shout outs, and that's the shout outs and photo wall section. And again, I'll just quickly show that to you here. You can see here as an example on the actual song request page. Let me just view this as an audience. You can see how that rotates through the images. It will just rotate, but if you click on it, it will take you to the full screen view, whatever background you've selected here, and that background is optional. You can pick from our backgrounds that we have in the system, and if you go back here, you can see you can pick a background. So if I want to choose from that one, I can choose maybe the dancers, let's say a Cinco de Mayo. I'll update that, and then I'm going to just refresh. I'm going to go back to this page. I'm just going to refresh it, and then I'm going to click in it, and then you'll see it just takes a minute for that information to see. Now you have a Happy New Year, who that shout out is from. You can see the background has changed, and we do have quite a bit of choices there for you. Different seasons. We have Halloween and others as well. All right. So let's continue on. Let's go down to karaoke mode. So karaoke mode is if you're doing karaoke, you'd want to turn this option on. And then when you first turn it on, it gives you the ability when on your song request page says, do you want to listen or sing? So the audience member will see that and they will have the option of choosing if they want to listen to the song or if they want to sing it, right? Now, if you want it to be singing only, you can check this other one and then they won't see that option at all. And it will just be, karaoke only, right? And then you definitely want to turn on require name because that's how you can let them know, as well as we do recommend turning on show duplicate song requests because there are times that two different people may want to sing the same song. If you don't have this on, then it will not allow them to basically request that same song again. Okay, so that's the karaoke mode. I'm going to go ahead and update the settings quickly, and just so you can see what this looks like on the song request page. So let's just go back to the song request page, and I'm just going to reload this page just so you can see what that looks like. Now notice here, you see the option perform karaoke. Because we only have that option turned on, again, there could be another option that says sing or listen, but because we only have that option turned on, it just shows the perform karaoke option. Now, when you're in this mode as an audience member, notice you cannot sort. The only option you have is karaoke sorting, and this is based on what the performer has in the background. So however they sort the songs, if they have karaoke mode turned on, that is how you will see the song displaying. So here, if I'm in here and I have karaoke sorting and now I switch this up, notice now it switches to this song on the audience side, right? And it just takes a second and it will switch up to that. And you can also see here which songs are coming up soon in the queue, declined, etc. All right. So that's how it shows on the audience side as well. So now let's go back in and we'll go back down to the other options again. So we go back to settings. Now let's go to line dance mode. Now what line dance mode does is it basically, we have line dance instructors that use no song requests. What they can do is they can upload using the CSV file, they can upload a list of dances that that the audience can choose from. So it'll have the song name, the artist name, as well as the dance associated with it. And if you turn that up, you can actually upload different playlists and choose which ones you want. And then when the audience goes to make a song request, they will now have to pick from one of those songs. And again, it will also give them the ability to choose the dance that's associated with that song. Right, so that's what that is. And then of course you'd want to turn on, so if I chose this, I'd want to activate the playlist so that it will now show. And I'll just quickly turn that on as well, and so you can see what that looks like. So if I go back here and I refresh the screen, you can see what this looks like for the audience. So if I go back here to the audience side, now notice it says select song from playlist, and it also gives you the actual dance as well as the name of the song as well. All right. So it gives you that, and so that's how it is. So this is the dance. This is the song name, artist name. Again, this is just a sample file. All right, so let's continue on. Wedding planning mode. So what this is that you use this prior to the wedding, not on the day of the wedding. On the day of the wedding, you'd want to turn this off. What you do is you turn on wedding planning mode, and then when you turn that on, when a person makes a song request, it will ask them, is it a part of the ceremony? Is it part of the reception? And it give you up to like all of the different categories, right? So typically what you do is you turn this on, you send it over to the bride and groom, and then they would fill this information out. In addition to that, if they have wedding planning mode turned on, the bride and groom has the ability to actually remove a song that they requested. So they'll see the delete option. They will have to sign in with the Google account to do that, but they will have the option to delete a song that they have actually requested. So it gives them the ability to kind of plan ahead. And again, on the day of the wedding, you want to turn this off. And you could require a password so that only the bride and groom, and this is just automatically generated password. You can change that to whatever you want, so that they're the only ones that can have access to that page. I'm not going to turn that on right now, but that's the way the wedding planning mode works. And again, you can turn it off on the day of the event. Now, this is ideally used with a custom event page, right? You wouldn't want to turn wedding planning mode on and then, okay, you happen to forget it, and then it's your club day, and then people are going to make a song request and ask them if this is for the reception, if this is for the first dance. But again, if you're planning that out properly, you could use one page, but we'd recommend using the custom event pages with things like wedding planning mode. Okay, so let's go into the custom event pages. So we have what we call them custom event pages, and this basically, when you purchase a custom event page package, it's $5 a month. It gives you 5 additional pages. And with those 5 additional pages, you can use any of those pages for whatever you want. If you have 5 events upcoming, you can create and customize those pages to look exactly the way you want. And then you can share it with, let's say, for instance, the couple, or a corporate sponsor or something like that, or the corporate folks, and so that they see their branding and all of that as part of this, right? You can also use it for your DJs. Let's say you are a DJ company and you have a few DJs that work for you. You can create a page and you can send them the username and password, and they have access now to their individual page. And what they can change things around, but they will not be able to change the booking information, and they cannot change like the contact us information as well. All right, so that gives you can see here my custom event pages. And let's say, for instance, I have this Tony and Samantha's wedding, and I'm just going to copy this page here. You can see there are options here. You can share the link. This is the link to the actual page. If I want to go and make set changes to this page itself, I click on the settings. If I want to see what the song requests look like, I can go here. And if I want to just duplicate this event page, basically start with this one and create another one, I can go ahead and click on that. So let's just copy this link, and we're just going to go over to Tony and Samantha's page. You can see here it's customized for them. You can add a lot of additional information. Not only that, it's not just the pictures and the profile pictures. You can change everything about the page. Like for instance, here you see there's no tipping turned on here. You can have a different message, etc. It gives you complete freedom on each individual page with that 5-page package. If you go our elite page, which is $20 a month, it gives you 25 extra pages. So that's a significant deal. And again, if you have multiple DJs in your companies, you can use that to manage all of them with this plan, right? So that's what custom event pages. If you do not have custom event pages, when you click on this, it will show you the ability to go ahead and subscribe and add those custom event pages, right? Alerts and notifications. So these are just defaults, emails, text, and app notification. App notifications are pretty much always on. We do allow you to send text notifications if you're a pro user, and then email notifications open to everyone, and you can choose how often you'd want to get the. I generally just keep it to immediately. The only time you'd not want it immediately is if, for instance, if you're planning an event months and months away, and it's just that one event, then you can set it for, so you're not getting a text message or app notification every time the bride goes in and adds a new song. Then you can change it to that. But typically, you'd want to keep it immediately, and then you'll get real-time requests. Upload a playlist. So so we've got a lot of live bands, musicians that use the platform, and when they have a limited number of songs that they can or are willing to actually perform. So what they can do is they can upload a list of files, or they can actually use a Spotify playlist, and they can share that list. And then when a person goes to request a song, they're only able to request from that list of songs. And of course, once you do it, you make sure you want to activate the playlist restriction. And then you also have this other option that says allow songs not in playlist. So some people hear the 50 songs, but I want to hear from you. Maybe there's another song that you may want to suggest, and maybe I might be able to play it. Or let's say I'm a DJ and I have a list of, these are the 200 songs that I prepped for this set. So I'd rather you pick from this list, but sure, you can pick another song. And if I have time, my internet is available, I may decide to play it. So this gives you the ability to flexible to either restrict it completely to an uploaded list, or the ability to have that, and that is the default, but also allow people to make song requests that are outside of that. The do not playlist, same thing. You can upload a Spotify playlist or a CSV file, and then those songs, when you request them, it will just say, hey, sorry, this is not on the do not playlist. With a do not playlist, you can upload a song. So that means you'd enter the artist and the song. But if you enter just the artist, then it will not allow you to request any song from that artist. So when you're setting up the CSV file, and the Spotify won't work, because Spotify, obviously, it's going to provide both the artist and the song. But if you're using the CSV option, when you upload that file, and you can always download a sample one of our files, if you enter just the artist column, let's say, for instance, no Kanye, then it's just Kanye is not going to, when someone requests a Kanye song, it's not going to show it. Sorry, it's what came to my head. So, but yeah, so that gives you the ability to do that. Now, your profile, this is where you'd go and set things up. And now, again, when you started the wizard, it did cover some of this information, but you can always go back and change it. So this gives you the ability to change your, background image. You can change your profile image, as well as your identity. So you can change your stage name. You can write up a better bio, a long bio here. You can add your emojis, as well as your performer type. You got information there as well. Then your QR code, you can see your QR code, you can view it, you can print it. Again, we also have a partnership if you want to get a light up QR code that really works really well at night. And then a QR code redirection, which our pro users have the ability to redirect your QR code. Again, this is your QR code. It's the only QR code you will ever need. So if you decide you want to redirect it to one of your custom event pages, you can. You can redirect it to your business page. Let's say you're somewhere and you're talking to people and you just want, hey, every time you have the same QR code, you've printed it out, you already have the big screen, and you're at an event and you're really just trying to get people to book people, you can just redirect it directly to your business page, or you can redirect it to another website. And we'll talk about your business page here in a few minutes. Social and contact, you can add all your social media links. You can just add them all, and you can turn them on or off, right? Your email, when you signed up, your email was there. Your phone number, you can enter that information as well. And then your account information, username, password, you can manage your subscription. I'm not going to do that right now because that's going to take me away from this page. You can turn on your tipping options. And this is a section I want to spend a little bit of time on. So, verified tips. We strongly recommend that you use verified tips. And there are a number of reasons for this. First off, for the audience, it's a lot easier from an audience standpoint. Verified tips include Apple Pay, Google Pay. So that one tap, quick double click or whatever it is, however you set up your phone, they're more willing to go ahead and complete that tip, right? In addition to that, when a tip is received, we are integrated directly with Stripe. So you'll need to set up a Stripe account if you don't already have one. Stripe is an international recognized merchant service that allows you to basically receive payment online. Not only can you use Stripe with our system, but you can even just sell an individual product. Let's say you're selling your DJ controller. You can, have a link to it and, basically sell it, and the information will come into your bank account. So Stripe is secure, it's online, it's popular, it's used worldwide by millions of merchants. So we've done a direct integration with them. When that money comes in, we know that it's in your bank, and so we get a verification back from Stripe that process has been completed. And so when you get a verified payment, the money is in your bank. Now, if you go with unverified, which are peer-to-peer, by the way, it's not just Google Pay and Apple Pay. It supports Cash App, credit card, and a number of other methods as well, right? Now, if you go to unverified route, for whatever reason you haven't had time to set up your Stripe, you can enter the actual usernames of each of your, if you have Zelle, Venmo, PayPal, etc., you can enter that information here. Now, what we'll do is we'll send that information over for them to complete the process on the Cash App side. But let's say, for instance, they can't remember their login, there's no money in the account, or they just decide last minute, we can't verify that process has been completed. So you may get some where you say, oh, look, they started the process, but we don't know if they completed the process. So that could be a bit confusing. You may decide, hey, you know what? I wasn't going to play this song, but I got a tip. And then later on, you realize that they never completed the process. So that's why we strongly recommend verified tips, but you can also keep the unverified as well. Now, your tipping options, and this is a very important section, is how you decide the tips to come in, right? Again, if you have verified tips turned on, then you're going to want to turn on only accept verified tips, because that also unlocks a few additional things in the system, such as skip pay to play earlier. Because we know that's verified, we can actually bump that up and show it at the top and say, okay, no, this person paid. You should definitely play their song because they definitely did pay, right? And there are other things as well that this unlocks. You can make tipping mandatory for song requests. So if you turn that on mandatory, then in order to complete that process, and again, this option is only available if you have verified tips, because otherwise, there's no way for us to make sure it's completed and verified in your bank account. All right, and you can do the same thing for shoutouts, right? So you can turn this on and off if you want, and then you could put a message here. Just say, tipping is greatly appreciated. And then you can set what your minimum amount. Now, if you turn on a minimum greater than 0, when someone when they send the song request on the next page, it will always pop up the tipping options like, hey, do you want to pay online? Or do you want to use Cash App if you've done, or one of those other unverified methods? If you have this set to 0, it won't pop that message up every time, right? Because that means that it's okay for them to not tip you, right? How much does it cost to skip the line? Again, this feature is only available if you have verified tips, and then allow the audience to tip you less than the minimum amount. So if you set the minimum amount to $5 here and you turn this on, then it would allow them to tip you $2 or whatever that is. Show tipping options when making a song request. You definitely want to have that on. What that is, and I'll just go here. Let me go back to the other page that I was using. So if you go back here to this page, notice this information here that shows those are the tipping options on the song request page, right? So that's what this show tipping options when making a song request. Show tip me button. So that is the tip button. Enable SMS notification. So when you receive a tip, you get that quick verification that everything's there. And again, you can set your default amounts as well as your currency. Now, business section. Now, this is an important section. This gives you the ability to basically have a completely different website with a pro account, no song request. You also get a business page. With this business page, you can enter as much information as you want, so that you now have and it basically gives you another QR code that you can actually share separately. You know, you may not always want to share your song request page when you're actually trying to go for a booking. Song request page is to get song requests, right? So this gives you another complete website that you can use, and you have a separate QR code. We call it the QR business card, and you can, when people scan that, it will take you to your business page. Let's go ahead and preview that. And most of your audience members are going to see this here. You can see all of the different videos, if you have videos as well, your contact information if you decide to share it, your services offered, event types, availability, etc. Quite a bit that you can enter. Now, and this is very important information. We will be rolling out our booking platform, and we already can get booked on our platform, but we're going to be doing a deeper integration with booking and really funneling people in order to into our booking portal to get you booked. So it's very imperative that you go ahead and fill out as much as this information as possible, because it's going to help you get booked on our site. And the things that you need to fill out are in the business section. So first off, you'd want to go in. So here's actually a first section in the business tools, my fans section. So what this does is that basically when a person makes a song request, it asks them, do they want to continue as guests or do they want to sign in? If they sign, you can make that required that they have to sign in with a Google account in order to make a song request. Of course, that's going to limit the number of requests you get, or you can just enable it, which basically gives them the option. If you turn it off, both buttons off, then they won't see the option at all, right? What that does is that once they've if they do sign in, what you will now see is you will get their information, so you can send emails to them. You can market to them. You can say, all right, send email to all my fans. You can send email to individual people. You can also see how, okay, this person, I made this amount of money this day. And you can also, basically gives you the ability to completely customize that. You can also label them, So this one is a, a big tipper. It was a corporate event, club night. Gives you the ability to then you can also go through and say, okay, here are my big tippers. I want to send an email just to all my big tippers, and it will send that information to them. All right, so that gives you that ability to do that. Let's continue on. You can see here, you also have the ability to do your merch store. So we are integrated with Fourth Wall. You can create your own merch shop, and that information will show on your song request page, as I displayed in the example here below. You can see here my products are displaying, right? Oops, let's close out of there. And then Eventbrite. So if you have a product, if you have an event that's coming up, you can tie in using, you can log into your Eventbrite, get the key, and then your product information, your event information will display on your song request page as well. And then you get to your business page settings. Now the business page settings is where you'd upload a separate image. You can upload your full bio, how many years you've been in business, your tagline, detailed information about you, your services, your rates, etc., the genres, your equipment availability, as well as your link to your merch store. People can buy tickets, and then you can upload a number of videos or images so people can kind of get the vibe of what your events look like, right? And then you can enter your contact information as well as your maybe a separate email that's different from your email on your song request side. And if you want to show the contact me button, the phone number, the email, or show the actual song request link as well on your booking site. And then for booking, are you interested in getting booked in your city? We strongly recommend that you turn this on and also to show book me button. We do get a lot of performers that get booked already, but we're going to be making a significant move towards getting you booked as a near term priority for us. So we strongly recommend you do that, as well as ad tracking. So when a person makes a song request on your page, if you actually do Google Ads, if you do Facebook ads, if you do Facebook business ads, if you do Google, TikTok ads, etc., we can put their pixel information on your page so that when a person goes to TikTok, they're more likely to see your videos because it's almost like they went to your own website. So it's sort of like if you go somewhere you're looking for a couch, for the next month or so, you're just being chased around the internet with couches, right? So if a person has gone to your booking site or they gone to make a song request, they may have had a great time. So we might want to show them your ad and say, hey, this DJ is available next month. And you said, oh, well, I had a great time. Let me go ahead and try to book that DJ, right? So that's what that gives you this ability here. And again, this is our ad tracking section. And then we have reports. And the biggest report here you want to see is the activity report. All right. And you can see here the activity report shows you all the song requests you've had. You can filter it by years. You can say, okay, by tipping status, if it was declined, really detailed stuff. In addition to that, you can see here show columns. Right now, it's only showing a few columns, but you can actually decide what columns you want to see. Let's say, for instance, already shows song name, artist name, etc. You can see the ones here that are not great or additional ones. You can say, all right, I want to see the BPM. I want to see the key, and then I can hit this green button, and now it's going to refresh the screen, and it's going to also show you the BPM and key information. All right. So, all right, that's the activity report, and then you can also start searching. Let's say Uzi. You can see those songs that I have there, or I can just say Shaba, and I haven't had any Shaba Ranks song requests, unfortunately. So then we're just going to go back here again to reports. And then we've already talked about my fans. This is the actual dashboard. We've just talked about that already. But basically, you can see here a list of all the fans that you've received on the platform. And again, it gives you the ability to send emails to them, market to them through our platform. And then you can export songs. So this is a feature that allows you to, and actually this is also in the activity report. Let's just jump back to here. Notice you can export the songs to CSV or you can export it to other platforms. We have a direct integration with Tune My Music, which allows you to click on this button and then it will just take all these songs, and I'll just go ahead and click on that now so you can see what that does. You can choose, I want to get them into my Spotify, and then it will just put them into your Spotify, and like, you can also choose different playlists, etc. So really gives you the ability. By default, there will be a playlist called nosongrequest.com in whatever account you send it to. Of course, you can then just log into the account and change it. All right, so that's the export option that goes, so you can export that to a CSV file. So that's it for the reporting, and then you can see the top song requests on the platform. All right, so now we'll jump down to the advanced section. You can see here you have audience controls, and by default, these are turned on. So when a person requests a song, or if they upload a photo, it will automatically block the inappropriate images, and it will also, get rid of profanity. So those are on by default. In the rare situation that you want to turn them off, you have the ability to turn them off. And then custom fields, this is a really great option. When you're getting a song request, you can decide to, let's say, for instance, you're karaoke and you want to have an option to basically allow background singers, right? You turn that on, then the karaoke host will say, "Hey, folks, everyone, this person wants everyone to join in with this song, right?" Maybe you have an event where you need to know the table number where the request is coming from. You can turn that on, but you can create any custom field you want in the system, right? So that gives you the ability to do that. You can actually enter all your upcoming events that you want in here, and so when a person goes to make a song request, it gives them the ability to choose what event. Now, this is different from our custom event pages, which is an entire different page for each event, and that's what we actually recommend because it's a completely clean, unique page with its own QR code, a unique page with its own QR code that you can share, and all of the requests go there, and they're not like jumbled up with your main page or with any other page that you have. And then you also have security. If you just want to have a password for whatever reason on the song request page, you can always turn it on. So now we'll discuss the TIDAL integration. The TIDAL integration allows users to get song requests, and those song requests will show up directly in their TIDAL account. Now, TIDAL has a direct integration with most of the DJ software. So if you have a TIDAL integration and a song request comes in and you open your DJ controller and you go to your TIDAL, you will see those song requests. The way this works is, and I'll just show you here, and you'd want to go to Settings, Advanced, and you see a TIDAL integration. You click Connect TIDAL and just log in. After you've logged into TIDAL, you'll see an option to allow, and then that would allow you to connect your account. Now, one of the things after you do that, you want to make sure you turn on automatically add requested songs to TIDAL playlists. This is important. That will automatically drop the songs into your TIDAL playlist. Now, the way this works with the TIDAL integration by default is that the first song request that you receive for any given date will create a playlist in TIDAL. So it will show up as NSR underscore and whatever the date is. The next day, so in all song requests that come in for that day will be in that playlist NSR underscore date. And then the next day, the first song request that comes in, if you don't get any song requests that day, no new playlists are created. And of course, you can go and delete the older playlists, but that's just the way it works. We do not edit any of your existing playlists. We do not delete any of your existing playlists as well. And so now if you were to go into your DJ software controller and you go to your TIDAL, you will see a playlist that gets created. So that's the TIDAL integration. And then this is our virtual DJ integration. This gives you the ability to enter your virtualdj.com/ask whatever your username is. You can turn it on, and then all the song requests you get will actually just go directly into that into virtual DJ. And then these are just some drops you can download, to like just tell the people, let's say, hey, scan your QR code to make a song request. And then export songs, which we've already discussed. Just clicks here, it gives you the ability to export all the songs. And when you click on it, it basically launches Tune My Music. Then choose which platform you want to send the songs to. And we're integrated with over 20 platforms here with our direct integration with Tune My Music. All right. So those are the main things. You can also, obviously, if you want to subscribe, you'd click on Manage Subscription. You can change the languages, and you can, of course, download our apps. You can see your QR code. You can print it out, and then you have all your custom event pages here that's available as well. I'm just going to quickly go back to the desktop app here. You can see here, notice now you see the In Your Crate option because I have both of these songs. Not only does it tell you that it's in your crate, but if you click on this, it will show you where you have in this crate. With this, you can actually see, oh, wow, I've got 5 versions of this song. That's probably not good, right? It's just, so you have that information. I probably have, and I only have 1 version of this one. So that gives you the ability to see that and, helps you decide what you want to do. And again, here you have all these different options. If I mark a song played, because I have that option turned on, then this song will just go away. In addition to that, I'm not showing the mobile app here, but it works just the same way as the desktop app with the ability to just swipe left and right to mark songs completed. And then you can always use the menu and go to settings to find anything that you cannot find in the default app. All right, next we'll cover the Spotify integration, in order to enable the Spotify integration, log in, go to settings, and then go to advanced, and you see a Spotify integration here. What you'll need to do is just enable the Spotify integration. You'll need to update to make sure that this information gets saved. If you go back to advanced now and go back to Spotify integration, now you see the open in Spotify. What you want to do is click on that, open that playlist, click on the plus button, and now that playlist will be a part of your Spotify. If you use Spotify in your DJ controller, that playlist will now show in Spotify. And that playlist will have a name. It'll say NSR underscore and whatever your username is. And every song request that comes into the system will automatically get added to that playlist. Right? And so that's it. So that concludes my demonstration of the NoSongRequest.com platform. Thank you.